Joe Hendry was putting up his World Championship on the line at Battleground, but unfortunately for TNA, they're not battling NXT. They are getting slaughtered. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling here for your NXT Battleground recap. And it's not a review because I did not watch the full show. I watched the highlights. Why? Because the full show is not worth watching. There really wasn't many highlights to speak of. Maybe I watched the lowlights instead. I don't know, but we're here to talk about it nonetheless. And I want to start with the result of the main event. Trick Williams defeats Joe Hendry to become the new TNA World Champion. And I know the WWE fanboys have defended this move. This alliance TNA WWE pretending that TNA is getting, a great deal out of this. TNA is getting a lot from this. TNA is getting hee-haw from this. Oh, but TNA guys are on WWE. Listen, TNA guys are on NXT. The exposure is the bare minimum. NXT gets about, 670,000 viewers a week. We're hardly talking a global audience. We're hardly talking a worldwide audience that TNA is getting introduced to. This partnership is so one-sided. TNA sends their best people to WWE, and WWE sends the scraps to TNA. You've literally got fucking Santino's daughter. She turned up, and then you just a bunch of losers. Most of the people that NXT sent to TNA over the past 6 months have already been released. That's what TNA thought. That's what NXT thought of these people. Nothing. It is so one-sided, man. And people are going to go, well, the TNA champion, Joe Hendry's getting to appear on NXT. That's a big thing for Joe Hendry. Not really. Joe Hendry's more over than anybody on NXT. So all NXT are doing, they're stealing TNA's best guy. They are stealing TNA's best guy. They are stealing TNA's world champion. And even look when Moose took on Obafemi. That match happened on NXT. That match happened on a WWE program. And of course, Obafemi won. You're not going to get Moose defeating the NXT champion. You're not going to get Moose defeating and winning the NXT championship, but you will get Trick Williams defeating the TNA champion, and you'll get an NXT guy winning the TNA World Championship, but you won't get a TNA guy winning an NXT championship. Definitely not, man. The whole thing is so one-sided, and people are going to compare it to other things. I mean, even back in the day when ECW and Paul Heyman had that alliance with McMahon, I mean, that was favourable to ECW big time, because ECW were actually getting to appear on WWF Raw, okay? They were getting huge exposure for that. Plus, they weren't even sending their best guys. The BWO, for God's sake, and Little Guido had a match on Raw. It's not like WWF were cherry picking and only taking, the top guys, the biggest stars for ECW. No, ECW had fucking jobbers getting to appear on WWF. Plus, McMahon was paying Heyman money. Or WWE paying money to TNA. Or NXT giving money to TNA? No. We've seen Jordynne Grace appear a lot when it first happened. She was appearing a lot. She was the Knockouts champion. And then her contract runs out and she goes to NXT. And I guarantee you the same thing's going to happen with Joe Hendry. When Joe Hendry's TNA contract runs out, he's not going to re-sign and he's going to go to WWE. And WWE are using this partnership to just take all the best talent for TNA. They're taking, all the championships for TNA. They're taking anybody that's worth a damn, putting them on their show, and the people that they really want, they're going to get full-time once their contracts run out. Essentially, TNA has become a feeder company for NXT, and what are they getting in return? Are they getting money? We haven't heard anything about that. Are they getting the best people from NXT appearing in TNA? No, they're not. I mean, it's just embarrassing. You got Joe Hendry and the Hardys appearing on NXT, and NXT fucking sending Gigi Dolan or something, you know? I mean, who gives a shit? Or whatever, Ariana Grace. I mean, just absolute fucking bums, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why not send here? Let's see if WWE want to actually give TNA something good. Why not give them AJ Styles? AJ Styles, I'm sure, would like to have maybe a retirement match in TNA. I'm not talking about his career, but how cool would it be if AJ Styles got loaned to TNA for like a 3-month period or a 6-month period, and maybe he could have one last run with the TNA Championship, and he could retire, have a TNA retirement match or something like that. You could have something really good with AJ Styles, but I mean, WWE's not going to give TNA AJ Styles because that would be too good. They're going to give TNA some fucking bum for the Performance Center that doesn't matter, you know. It's embarrassing. Anyway, guys, rant over. Let's get into the first match. Sol Ruka with Saria defeated Kalani Jordan for the NXT North American Championship. Not wrestling. You got Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka doing acrobatic flip-flopping, and if this happened in AEW, people would bash it, but it happens in WWE, so people's going to say it's amazing. It's not amazing. It's fake. It's phony. It looks so fucking choreographed. This is not like when RVD would like leg sweep someone and then flip over. When RVD was doing that shit, he made it look fucking real. RVD legit looked like a martial artist. You used to think that RVD was like the fucking brother of Claude Van Damme because he looked that good doing these moves. Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan doing it, and it does. It just looks like two high school gymnastics messing about in a ring, and it's not wrestling. Sol Ruka does a cool finisher off the top rope, but there's just no psychology, man, or real wrestling, or selling, or nothing. It's just a bunch of fucking moves and flips and springboards. That's all you get. This ain't great. Sol Ruka wins. Right choice, I think, but the wrestling wasn't good. Up next, we've got Hank and Tank with Josh Briggs. They defeated the Culling. Why is Izzy Dame, a hot, attractive chick, hanging around with these three fucking losers? I don't know. I guess there's nothing else for Izzy Dame to do, but it just doesn't make any sense to me why you've got this hot blonde hanging around with three guys going absolutely nowhere. You know, you just... You look at back in the day, you'd Stacey Keibler hanging around Test, and you just look at Test, Andrew Martin, 6'7", fucking jacked, you know, good looking guy, muscles popping out of every single fucking body part. You know, you could see why Stacey Keibler would hang around with Test. You could see why she would be interested in Test. And then she kind of went and was interested in Steiner. And then she was like interested in Randy Orton, and then also she had like that love interest or the whole secretary thing with Vince McMahon. You could see why a hot blonde, an attractive blonde like Stacey Keibler would be interested in those guys. Why is Izzy Dame hanging around the Cullen? It's because wrestling's fucking shite and nothing really matters anymore. All that matters is we get in the ring and we wrestle. They don't even take into account who's hot or who's not, but just, I don't know, and someone attractive like Izzy Dame should be not hanging around with free jobbers called the Culling, but whatever. The Cuck's more like the Cuckings. Anyway, they lost. Good for them. Shannon Stacks Lorenzo defeated Tony D'Angelo. We got the return of Luca Friziano, or whatever his name is. I don't know. Apparently he was last seen in the desert. He was buried in the sand. Now he's back. Stacks goes low blow on D'Angelo, gets the win. Luca wants to hug D'Angelo. D'Angelo just pushes him away and walks off. So nothing really happened there with Luca. Adriana Riso was nowhere to be seen. Who knows what's going to happen with this? We'll have to wait and see. I'm assuming Stacks is going to be the new leader and everyone's going to join forces with Stacks. Why they're dragging it out for so long, I don't know, but I mean, whatever. I like it, you know, it's interesting. It gives you like really knockoff Soprano level vibes or whatever. Listen, it's a cool storyline, it's a cool gimmick, but I just wish it happened on the main roster. Stephanie Fakir defeated Jordan Grace. You know, whatever. She does the whole ass spot in this match, and aye, good for her. She wins. still the champ. Congratulations. Not surprised. Obafemi defeated Miles Bourne for the championship, hitting with 3 power bombs. That was enough to put Miles Bourne away. Obafemi, the ruler, still rules. He still remains the champion. Congratulations. What have I got to say about it? I mean, not a lot. Expect him to win. Was never going to lose. I mean, Miles Bourne, I mean, does he have an okay look to him? I mean, I guess so. I just don't think it's going to go anywhere, his gimmick as a face. I think he'd be better off as a heel with a manager, someone that can talk for him or something, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then in the main event, already discussed it, Trick Williams defeats Joe Hendry, flapjack onto the TNA title, then he hits the knee, gets the 1-2-3. Booker T was, he was cheerleading for Trick Williams in this match. Maybe could we get Trick Williams called up to the main roster with Booker T as his manager? I know Booker T's got the whole commentary gig going in NXT, but what about a partnership between Trick Williams and Booker T? That could be something that takes Trick to the next level. And how many managers and how many proper managers or valets do we have in wrestling? Fucking none. And that's what I think you miss that in wrestling. You just don't get any anymore. I mean, you've got Paul Heyman who just stands at ringside with the belt. But I mean, how many managers and valets do you have in wrestling now that actually get involved and try to help their their clients or whatever win the match? You just don't really get it anymore. It very rarely happens. Maybe they could do something with Williams and Booker T. I don't know. Anyway, Trick Williams wins the TNA Championship. What's going to happen now? Are we going to see Trick Williams now regularly appear on TNA, or is he not going to bother showing up? That's going to have to remain to be seen, I guess. And are we going to get TNA winning an NXT championship? Probably not, no. So TNA are now a world champion. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. But I just don't think they're getting a good deal out of this. The pay-per-view didn't look that bad, to be honest. But it didn't look good enough to watch. So, yeah, I've seen the highlights. I can't really give it a rating. It didn't look the worst, though, I will say that. And it's pretty cool that TNA World Championship got the main event and Joe Hendry got the main event, but he lost, so it's like, what the fuck? He lost. Anyway, guys, that's it. Until next time, let me know your thoughts down below, and peace.